Okay, we might as well try and kick off here, I think. A couple minutes past the hour. So I had prepared a rough agenda. People obviously feel free to add towards the end of that as well. So I do have, as usual, the list of open and recently merged PRs to skim through quickly based on the list that tagged the SIG. So at the top of the list, open correct filtering of OpenStack LDAS resources to delete, which actually seems to be a kind of nasty issue once you dig into it. I think it's still waiting on one of the CI tests, although not one of the required ones failed, and also waiting on someone to give a looks good to me, someone with the actual authority to merge it, that is. Second item, and just interrupt me at any point if anyone has further comments they want to add or questions.
I was just going to say, yeah, that one's pretty nasty. If someone deletes their load balancer, it'll delete everyone's load balancer. Whatever. It's just battling the completely failing end-to-end tests. As far as I can see, the change is easy and simple and good. It just can't merge till we manage to get all the end-to-end tests to pass, which is silly because none of the end-to-end tests actually test our code. So all the failures are not our problem. Yeah,
that's basically what I took away from it. But yeah, pretty nasty for people to be aware of.
I also can't do anything to get that merged back into 1. Whatever latest is 4. I don't know if we can do that and if it's a thing, but I can't alter the labels to make that happen.
Yeah. So let's make a note for that as well, actually. All right. The second item. Passing full node objects to the provider load balancer methods. I think that was waiting on pre-review.
Yeah, this is sat for about 5 weeks now, waiting for someone to actually review it. Obviously, I can't review it since I wrote it. Dagnello gave it a review from the OpenStack side, but he can't LGTM it, so it's just sitting there waiting for. It's assigned to be Prashant there. Yeah.
All right. The daemon set updates, recent feedback on that yesterday, I think, indicated it needs to be split up some more. So this is around, if I recall, rolling updates, rollbacks to daemon sets and how to handle that. So that's still outstanding. The new volume plugin, I hadn't actually dived into that to see if anything has changed there. It's on my list, so something must have happened to it, but I haven't really better.
Yeah, this was so people wrote a Cinder local volume driver that tries not to use the OpenStack provider. The main practical difference is that you provide the OpenStack credentials as a user through the metadata for the object, rather than as the deployer in the provider config. It doesn't share any code with the existing Cinder driver or OpenStack provider plugin, which I gave feedback on the review was kind of disappointing. You could do this very easily by just instantiating the existing object using different credentials. So hopefully they'll go that way. Otherwise, we'll have 2 entirely separate code bases to maintain, which will be annoying.
It has been created by Quentin Machu from CoreOS. He isn't present today, but he has shared, in brief, some details about this implementation at the previous meetings. So I hope you join us on the next meetings or on face-to-face meetings and provide some details. Because in my opinion, this tool is this implementation of Cinder is really might be really useful for some cases when you are not going to use the whole OpenStack, but you would like to use some parts of it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, please, Steve, go ahead.
So the storage class instance on AWS and GCE, that's really just still an FYI. I don't think there's anything deeper to discuss there. Security group support for OpenStack load balancers, that merged late last week, I think, which we discussed previously. Delete pool before getting node address unsuccessfully. Again, I haven't dived too deeply on that one, so I'm just bringing that up myself. It's now closed, actually, so good update status.
That one was abandoned in favor of another one that was merged.
Right. Yes.
That was the one that did merge is the full rewrite of Ensure Load Balancer, which now does updates instead of recreating from scratch.
Yeah, I'm just going to dump the link in there in a second as well. We don't rely on the device name provided by Cinder. I think there's still some issues with the testing on that one.
Yes, it was last time I looked.
Yep, so no real movement there.
Typing indented things correctly is annoying. Anyway, there. I've got a couple more that merged, which again I can't modify labels, which is why they don't have the area OpenStack label on them appropriately. We are now, my change to support config drive merged, so we can now get metadata, instance metadata from config drive and not just the metadata service, which is good. That also changes the behavior of the current node name and zone to actually be correct instead of what they were before. So we should now get zone labels. We should now get zone labels added automatically, and the node name will appear to be the OpenStack host name rather than the actual system host name. And another one was, what else was it? Oh, just logging cleanup. So there's better logging when, no, that one was, no, I lied, that one didn't merge. Okay, so another one was abandoned in favor of the Ensure Load Balancer rewrite. So let's get you done for that one. Yep. Yeah, that Ensure Load Balancer one was a pretty big change. It's a nice one. It's good.
Okay, cool. Does anyone else have any issues or PRs open that they want to raise that we've missed? Again, I'm just mainly going off the CC list for the SIG to generate these lists and anything that's been modified in the last 14 days, basically.
Yeah, mostly all repairs. So if nobody from community is not going to CC our team, so Steve or I are going to do this. So it seems that 99% of OpenStack related issues that are currently here. But possibly someone has any other suggestions.
Another one is my routes change, which hasn't been merged again because it hasn't been reviewed by anyone. It's only tangentially OpenStack related in that it helps us get rid of the one more case of the instance name having to match the node name. But it's still sitting, waiting for reviews. I think it's also up to about 5 weeks or something sitting there.
Yeah, that probably is escaping my query, so I have to go back and dig the URL for that.
That's 32663. All right. So on this list generally, I've changed jobs in the last couple of weeks. I'm no longer working on OpenStack generally. So my level of care about this overlap is still there, but is diminished, and certainly I won't be able to spend full time on it like I have been for the last sort of months.
Yeah, so other than the obvious thing that there's some space for others that we're going to need to fill in this area, I think you've mentioned a couple of times that we still have to work out this whole labeling situation and who can label what. Because I think
it's terrible.
Within this group, we have basically no understanding or access to do so.
No, we can't add labels to say it's related to OpenStack. We can't do any of the more exotic merging things. The basic LGTM works now, which is an improvement. That's much better than it was. And there's still a problem with changes just sitting, like if it's not something that I can review and merge, it's just sat there for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Okay. So that's probably something for you and I to follow up with Sarah in particular to see how other SIGs are dealing with this, if at all, or how we can get some help around this area.
Yep.
Okay.
So we probably want to grow another reviewer within this community. So I'm not doing all of it. Daniela's on the assigned list, but certainly hasn't been doing this proactively. He and I get auto-assigned to reviews.
Okay, we'll check that. So speaking about the situation with labels and other stuff, so there are like lots of ongoing conversations in working group contributor experience. I'm actively participating there, like related to all the community contributor stuff. So we're going to solve this question with LGTM's labels and so on. So the biggest problem that we have at the moment, and it is like not our problem, not community problem, but GitHub problem, that there is no big differentiation between like there are not so many options for people to be assigned to have some roles and permissions. So if you are able to assign some labels, you will receive their full merge rights to this repo, and it is inappropriate for the top managers of this community. So that is the biggest problem. So at the current moment, we are speaking with Sarah, and we have like ongoing conversation regarding what can we do and how can we solve the problem of minor number of real contributors, of people who have these rights. And also, like, we initially agreed this plan will be proposed and published for the message during KubeCon. So please stay tuned for a couple of weeks. We are going to present some solution on this in this case. Yeah, but anyway, the second question regarding another review is really important. And we have lots of companies who are interested in OpenStack and Kubernetes experience both, so it should be great ability for some people to receive these rights.
Yeah.
Steve, please.
Okay, so I just wanted to I'll briefly recap. So obviously the Barcelona OpenStack Summit is next week. We have been allocated a working group room on the Tuesday, with which we can do basically whatever we want. So I think I'd be interested if people have specific, well, first of all, and who from this group is actually attending, planning to be there, but also if people have specific things that they would like to discuss in that forum, that maybe the email list and kind of these bi-weekly calls haven't really proved fulfilling for. So, particularly some of those discussions we're having on the list about multi-tenancy, for example, and hashing that out. I can certainly try and get some folks in the room to discuss that, or anything else that people might have thoughts on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to join you in Barcelona. So at the same time, I hope that we'll have something like Hangout streaming. So it would be pleasant to join your conversation somewhere online.
Yeah, I'll have to see what I can do about. I suspect, given the way the working group rooms work, it's going to be BYO video conferencing. But at the very least, we'll have the Etherpad, and I'll try and connect something up with a USB microphone or something. So there's at least one-way communication, if not two-way.
I know we're a newcomer, so this is Brandon and Alan, and we've had a couple people show up from AT&T. So I mean, we're really interested in this work, and we just got our agreement signed today, actually. And we've been working pretty closely with Sarah and trying to line up work upstream. So we're really interested in this work, and if there's some places where we can start contributing, then we'd be very interested in that. We'd be interested in the working group as well. So,
yeah, I think if you folks have people attending the Barcelona Summit or KubeCon for that matter, there's going to be a number of us there, and I think even just getting like-minded folks in the room, I know there's a lot of people interested in this area, but how we turn that into a consolidated effort to move things forward via concrete contributions is, I guess, the focus of what this group is trying to do. So we definitely have that space for Barcelona. The other question that's been posed is there's the offer of some space for us at KubeCon in Seattle that's coming up shortly afterwards as well, particularly on the Monday afternoon. So the offer is for, I believe, a table, not necessarily a room, for face-to-face meetings, either on the Monday afternoon or during the Tuesday, Wednesday, the actual event. And also the OpenStack Foundation have offered to host a more informal meet and greet over drinks, either on the Monday afternoon or one of the other days, depending on what kind of attendance we expect to have and whether people will be available on the Monday. Igor, do you have any more color to add to that? I know you've been kind of more involved in this process, particularly around organizing the SIG meetup space.
Well, so I'm going to have the conversation with CNCF guys. So first of all, we'd like to decide how many people we are going to have and what the most convenient time for the attendees will be during KubeCon. So we currently have two options, not two overlapping options, but we can use both options to run a face-to-face meeting someday, like on Monday when the most SIGs are having their meetings, and another one that OpenStack provides us like with some beer stuff during the party at Thursday night, so we can also run our mini local event there, just to informal networking, informal communication. Again, so the most important question for us to schedule some activities is how many people and who and when these people would like to run this, to participate in this face-to-face meeting.
are you keeping track of some details on that for folks that would like to attend? Because I'll be there's a few of us in Barcelona, and I'll be at KubeCon as well, so interested in both of those.
Yeah, so the Barcelona event is a little more fixed in terms of what we have. So I have in the agenda notes here, and I'll paste to chat as well if I can remember to get back to it. The details for the Barcelona room, so that's fixed already. What Igor and I are trying to ascertain for the KubeCon one is it's kind of a chicken and egg problem where we need to be able to tell them approximately how many people we think we're going to have, so that they work out what space they can give us. and for how long, for that matter.
Yeah, by the way, are you going to, so Brandon from AT&T, are you or maybe your colleagues from AT&T are going to participate in KubeCon?
No, Dan asked me if I would prepare something for KubeCon, and I kind of would like to attend first, and then maybe have something next time.
Okay. Oh.
You're asking about presenting something, right?
Well, I'm not going to present something, but I'd like to meet some AT&T guys and so on. But unfortunately, I won't be in Barcelona, so it would be a great place for me.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So to confirm, I don't have any major other updates regarding KubeCon. I suppose it will meet once again before this event will happen. Yeah,
I think the one other thing with KubeCon I should mention is that the OpenStack Foundation are going to have a booth at the event. They are looking for volunteers who would be interested in helping staff that booth or do short demos or tutorials of that booth, or basically anything you can think of. So if you're at the event and you have a little thing that you want to demo or show off, we can put you in touch with Denise from the foundation, who's managing that event for them. You can set that up.
Yeah.
With regards to the who is attending, trying to work out the timing and whatnot, I think what I'll do is I'll send out a doodle poll just for best time, so people, in response to that email I sent earlier today, that seems to be the best way we can probably gather a head count. Alrighty. Does anyone have anything else they would like to raise on this particular conversation? Okay, I'll take silence as no. Thanks everyone for your time, and I'll catch you all on Slack and or the mailing list, if not next week in Barcelona.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
See ya.